Number 75 of John O'Brien, Buck Skaggs in 2. And then we have the... Next, we'll take a look at the 25-lap feature event for the Pronto Auto Parts Figure 8 division. And car number 91, Stacy Kelly, leads the field into turns 1 and 2 when the green flag flies. The number 79 of Gregg glides up the banking as the number 00s of Bobby Johnson, the 4 of Calvin Crane make it 3 abreast, and the number 16 of Rocket Roger Vincent moves into the top 5 in the early going. Calvin Crane to the inside of Bobby Johnson for second. Rocket Roger Vincent and Gregg in car number 79 will battle it out for 4th and 5th as they shuffle back into turns 1 and 2. The field continues to sort their way out in the opening laps here of this 25-lap feature event, 50 times through the intersection. Stacy Kelly along with... A few laps later, and here's the showdown for the lead. Calvin Crane in car number 4 zips up along the inside of the number 91 of Stacy Kelly and takes over the lead. The number 0 of Raymond Johnson now motoring up inside the top 5 with Stacy Kelly at 2nd, the number 16 of Roger Vincent at 3rd, Bobby Johnson at 4th. 4th and Raymond Johnson rounding out the top 5. It looks like Gregg slows some this time through the intersection, and now it looks like he picks up the pace. Calvin Crane opening up about a 8-car length separation between himself and Stacy Kelly at 2nd place. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th right together now as they move back into turns 3 and 4. Calvin Crane at the intersection, and John O'Brien's number 75 is reaching the intersection about the same time as our race leader. And this time John O'Brien puts the brakes on and our race leader glides through the intersection. Checking it with the battle at 2nd place now, we have Stacy Kelly. He's got Rocket Roger Vincent in car number 16 and Raymond Johnson right there with him. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place, battling into turns 1 and 2. Raymond Johnson goes all the way to the outside. Later, Raymond Johnson in car number 0 makes this pass on the inside of the number 91 of Stacy Kelly. Moves into 2nd place, but Calvin Crane's way out front. I'm trying to move his car around that of the number 91 of Stacy Kelly. Doug Smith in car number 50 is right there as well. Chris Harmon in car number 116, the defending figure 8 champion and current points leader, is also moving his green car up near the top 5 at this moment. One of the newcomers to the Pronto Auto Parts Figure 8 division, the number 50 of Doug Smith, one of the top rookies this year, battling side by side with defending Figure 8 champion Chris Harmon as they move through the intersection. Calvin Crane continues to lead with Raymond Johnson at 2nd, Roger Vincent at 3rd. The number 91 of Stacy Kelly goes 4th. At 5th, it'll be Doug Smith. 16 laps still remaining, and Raymond Johnson and Zeke Skaggs are beginning to get close at the intersection. Here comes our race leader, Calvin Crane, and he slips through some heavy traffic at the intersection. And another close call for our race leader, Calvin Crane. Moving through the intersection just ahead of John Basham's number 1, and Raymond Johnson along with Buck Skaggs get very close at the intersection. Again, Calvin Crane continues to lead out of turn 4. And back into turns 1 and 2, Raymond Johnson about a half straightaway behind. And then it's the number 16 of Roger Vincent, still another half straightaway behind Raymond Johnson. Close call on our race leader there. That was the number 4 of Calvin Crane and the 38 of Dennis Knoll, nearly collecting at the intersection. And this has allowed Raymond Johnson to close in some on our race leader. Third place running car, Roger Vincent, also calling it a close call there at that intersection. The battle back at fifth place, and we have the number 116 of Chris Harmon, the number 50 of Doug Smith, and the number 91 of Stacy Kelly at third, fourth, and fifth place now as they move through the intersection. A bottleneck at the intersection, and Calvin Crane makes his way through, but again slowing once again at that intersection, and that has allowed Raymond Johnson to close in now to about 5 car lengths. John Basham tags the number 38 of Dennis Knoll at the intersection, knocking Knoll's bumper loose. John O'Brien in car number 75 stopping for the oncoming traffic. Here come the race leaders, and in just about a lap or so, they'll begin meeting that huge pack of cars there at the intersection. Bobby Johnson, Tony Anderson, and Jeff Roberts. And once again, Calvin Crane is going to have to make some important decisions at that intersection over the final 9 laps. Here they come out of turn 4. And Calvin Crane once again goes for the brakes. And later on, Calvin Crane's massive lead over the entire field seemed to diminish after slowing for heavy traffic at the intersection several times, and that allowed the number 0 of Raymond Johnson to close in, and suddenly we had a 2-car battle for the lead as they race out of turn number 4 and through the intersection. But as both cars split apart to avoid some traffic at the intersection, Raymond Johnson had a left front suspension part brake, sidelining his car. And drops back a bit, and it looks like the right front suspension is damaged on Raymond Johnson's car. So Raymond Johnson once challenged for the lead, but now drops back to the tail of the field. It's Calvin Crane out front, surviving about at the intersection, and a stiff challenge from Raymond Johnson. But right now he continues to lead. A distant second is Roger Vincent in car number 16, the number 116 of Chris Harmon as that's third place. Doug Smith inside the top 5 for the second week in a row now in the number 50. And the number 27 of Rick Hine rounds out the top 5. Last year was. There's a lot of Smiths. Yeah. Figure 8s. Calvin Crane out of turn 4 now. And right now he has a lot of breathing room as his closest actual competitor is Roger Vincent. And he's about a full straightaway behind. So Calvin Crane can slow some at the intersection and not put his chances of leading this race in any type of jeopardy. Chris Harmon and Buck Skaggs come within inches of each other there at the intersection. And we have 3 laps remaining. Another close call at the intersection. Our 5th place running car of Rick Hine meeting at the intersection with one of the back markers. Coming up on 2 laps to go now for Calvin Crane. Not sure if he knows that he has this big a lead, but right now it's built up. The advantage is a full straightaway. Chris Harmon looking for another top 5 finish here tonight. Current points leader, defending figure 8 champion in the number 116 is currently at third place. The white flag is out now for Calvin Crane's number 4. He's back into turns 1 and 2. 2 more times through the intersection. And Crane slightly. And from that point on, Calvin Crane checked out on the rest of the field. The car sponsored by Jim French Custom Built Homes and B&R Speed Shop, and he collects his first figure 8 feature event victory of the 1995 racing season.